Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Reach Podcast Show with LeVar Ellis, where every show reaches beyond the ears of the listeners. Man, today is a great day. It's the end of this tumultuous year we've been living through, 2020, and hopefully our great things are to come for everybody who's still walking God's green earth. Today is a finale show, a finale for the new year. For the old year, and introducing to the new year. Today is Thursday. Today is New Year's Eve. So I hope everybody is prepared to be safe, aware, family oriented, friend oriented, and be with those people that you love. Because this year has taught us that we must pay more attention to ourselves and our growth, and family is everything. And as you can see, I have a young man here in the studio, Mr. Ronald C. Lee Jr. This man is going to blow y'all away in more ways than one. So I'm telling you right now, stay tuned to this entire show. So Ron, I appreciate you coming in, brother. Absolutely, man. This brother is dope. Gonna get into the fact that I read his book, Transform a Nation. And when I tell you it's an amazing read, it is definitely an amazing read. And we're tapping into some of the same things. And Lewis Brown, what's up, brother, over there at Mo Better Boxing, man? I hope you tapped into the show. So if not, make sure you catch the replay. But so what I'd like to say is that everybody, just spread your antennas today. You know what I'm saying? It's be aware, be present, and just pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Just self-reflect today. Just think about what this year has brought, what it has not brought, the things that it's taught you, things that you may have missed. You know what I'm saying? It's really that time for us to do that. And just want to make sure that everybody steps into the new year, walks into the new year with their minds open, with their hearts open, and leave all the attachments, the negative attachments that you have in 2020, because 2021 is about to be an awesome year. You know what I'm saying? It's about to really be an awesome year. And manifestation, we're going to talk about that. My man talks about manifestation, and I like how you put that at the end of the book, but not to get too far ahead of ourselves. That's the thing that I felt like you wanted to leave us with. And that's the one thing that I want to make sure everybody understands, man. Manifest what you want to see. And we hear it all the time. Be the change that you want to see. So with that being said, man, I got to get into my show sponsors, and I appreciate everybody who falls in that category, starting with none other than the Joseph Consulting Firm, Miss Candace Joseph. I appreciate that team. They get the artwork, man. That's who does the flyers for the show week in and week out. And she was up last night, getting that done. I appreciate you, and I appreciate the team. And just make sure that you guys, if you need anything as far as consulting, any type of business, material, knowledge, just get with the guru, Miss Candace Joseph. And if she's too busy to do some stuff, which she never seems to be too busy, I don't know how that works, but she can definitely get you with the team, and they'll get the things that you need taken care of. Next show sponsor, I'd like to say shout out to the Executive Suite and Miss Kevia Jones, the CEO of the Executive Suite, CBD-based products, life-changing, life-altering, just helpful products that she has over there, even from little babies. Ask her about the little boy story that she has, the young man that had acne, had, man, what do you call it? When you have the skin rashes, man, I can't even think of it. Eczema. When you have eczema, she changed that young man's life. And that was just a touching story within itself. And so it can work for you too, and check out the candle. There is not just a candle that you burn, but it has many healing products and substances in it. And then lastly, the World Youth Foundation, Miss Karen, the whole team over there, we are always coming together as a team and as an organization and giving back to the community. I consider World Youth Foundation being the heartbeat of the city of Houston. And there's just so many things that we take part in and we participate in just to make our community a better place. And also look out for YIP, which is the Youth Innovative Incubator Program, where we are building the minds of our youth and helping them with their definitive voice beyond the classroom, and just letting them understand that the things that they do and the things that they bring forth will definitely take part in changing the world. So shout out to all my show sponsors, and I appreciate you guys to the fullest. And definitely got to holler at my man, not necessarily a show sponsor, but I just got to put it out there. My man, Gerald Smiley over there at Chipped In. And the reason I'm doing this is because, one, I am a customer. I am a partner with this organization that helps you build and helps you raise funds for your organizations, your business, your nonprofit or for-profit. Just go check it out. You see the website scrolling right there, www.chipin.co. And just reach out to Gerald Smiley. He'll help you out, and he'll just walk you through the process. And if you want to call him, tell him the Reach Podcast sent you, and you can get the number that's scrolling across the screen at the bottom. But man, with no further ado, I'd like to introduce the man of the hour, my man, Mr. Ronald, let me get it right, Ronald C. Lee Jr. He is the author of Transform a Nation. And when I tell you, I read this book in a matter of just a day, and I've been had the book. I tell me, I'm make sure I read it, and we get caught up. But I tell you what, I read this entire book last night, man. It finished up this morning. It's a very, it's a great read. It's easy read. But with that being said, there's just a part of it which I would consider your introduction that I have to read for the people, and then I'll let you, speak more on it. But it says, Ronald C. Lee Jr. is the founder and president of Motivational Artists, Inc., an education-based organization whose mission is to educate and empower teens and adults of all ages and on the power and importance of entrepreneurship, financial literacy, personal development, and family values and structure. A well-known transformational success speaker, minister, business consultant, radio host, and creative director, Mr. Lee has blazed a path of success. He was born and raised in Chicago's notorious, dangerous Englewood community. After going to prison multiple times between the ages of 17 to 24 and serving 6.5 years in prison, Mr. Lee transformed his life with unwavering faith and commitment to become a positive example for the world to see. Mr. Lee, at the age of 28 now, lives and operates his businesses in Houston, Texas, with his beautiful wife and daughter. He is also a minister at Mount Horeb. Is that right? Okay. Mount Horeb Missionary Baptist Church. So that's who our guest is today. But I mean, there's much more to come. But Ronald, again, I keep wanting to say Ron, yeah. But again, man, welcome to the show. I really appreciate you being here, man. It just speaks volumes to the things that I have going on. You know what I'm saying? And just introduce yourself in your own words to the people.
So I'm just an artist. I do music, poetry. I'm an author, of course. I do a lot of work in the community, but for the most part, that's what I start with. I'm a father.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
And an artist. That's what's main.
Absolutely. And so, like with my show, like I was telling you, I try to do everything organically. We haven't talked much. We met. I've seen you perform several times, and you dope, bruh. You know what I'm saying? My man is dope, and you're talking about something, because in your other bio that I put up, you said all your content, instills power and instills education, and instills all the things that our youth need to hear. And the first thing that comes to mind on an artist tip, and this, some people might think I'm crazy, but remind me of Rakim. You know what I'm saying? Just the knowledge that you put out there, and how you do the things that you do, and that's my favorite artist of all time. But if you don't mind, brother, kick something for the people, man, so they can understand, what I'm talking about.
I'm keep it simple. Started out with nothing but a big dream. I ain't never had much. Food stamps turned to link cards, going on field trips with a bag lunch. Things really got bad. I lost a lot of homies and it hurt inside. Kings killing kings, prisons overflowing, streets feeling like a genocide. Homicides making mamas cry. Why she gotta see a baby die? Why my loved one switched on me? Why so many people tell me lies? Why are we so segmented? Why do we keep the chains on our minds? Why are we content with just getting by? Because to be the boss, I paid my dues. I built this up from scratch, IOUs. If you want to go get it, that's what I do. I'm playing with the house money, so I can't lose now. I'm a winner, not a loser. King like Martin Luther, with the spirit of Malcolm X, in the trenches transforming shooters, turning boys into men, making shorties understand they can get it back legally. All they need is a good plan and stop popping Zans. Leave them Percocets alone. We need clear minds and pure hearts to take back the throne. I don't know where y'all at, but I'm in my zone. If everyone you hang with broke, then leave them all alone.
Absolutely. I'm in the studio with you by myself. I'm gonna give you a handful on that one, man. And that's one of my favorite ones. Obviously, I've heard that before, and that's just a dope one, man. And it speaks to everything that you wrote about in the book. And with this transformation, it says you're breaking generational curses and mental barriers, and it's the 9 stages of growth for personal and business development. And it's definitely that, with reading that. So with that being said, and I'm gonna just leave this book up so everybody can see it, and that way, tell them how they can go and find this book, man.
RonaldC.com. Just go to my website. It's up there to pop up as soon as you go to the website. You will be able to see it. I always got them available, so anytime, just go to RonaldC.com.
Absolutely. And we got some people. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. What's up, Candace? She's tuning in. What's up, Miriam? Appreciate y'all tuning into the show this morning. Share the platform, share the video, so that way everybody can get exposed to Mr. Ronald C. Lee Jr. and everything that he has going on. I appreciate y'all. But so give us a little bit. I know you have the book, and they'll get a little bit of knowledge, or actually a lot of knowledge on you as a person. But in whatever light you like to share, just starting with coming up in Chicago and how you grew up. And I don't know how much in detail you want to get into some of the bad choices you made to get you to where you are now. Just let the people understand who you are.
I'm pretty open and transparent. So, I talk about my past a lot, everything about my past. That's one of the things that I'm real big on, is about speaking on it.
Right.
So you can take control over it and not allow it to control you. So
yeah.
I'm definitely an open book. That's when I let you know, when I emailed you, like,
ask you whatever.
Ask me whatever. Yeah, I ain't, it is what it is. It's all, it happened.
Mm-hmm.
But so born and raised in Chicago. I just turned 30 last week, so I'm a 90s baby. I was born in 1990. Just growing up in Englewood, different communities in Chicago. I had my mother and my father growing up. So contrary to popular belief that, like, only people that get in trouble are the ones that, don't have fathers. Like,
right.
And it was just like, I really got into the streets and started gang banging maybe about like 12, 13 years old, around that time.
Okay.
It was just more or less like starting off. It wasn't like joining the gang. It was really like just being a part of what was going on in my neighborhood.
In the community,
these was what everybody was. So I didn't really even look at it like I was becoming a gang member.
Right.
Like I was like, really, like, honestly, it was like becoming like part of like a fraternity in a sense. Like that's how I viewed it. Like I just wanted like some camaraderie.
Yeah. Brotherhood.
Yeah. So this is what all the brothers in my neighborhood was doing. So ultimately that's just how that started. And that's when things kind of like start like spiraling. I started getting deeper and deeper into the streets. So, selling drugs and committing crimes, breaking in houses, and shooting guns, getting shot at, different things like that. And just as the years, as I got older, the deeper the things that, we start getting into. So at 17, I went to prison for the first time for armed robbery. I did 4.5 years for that. And then I came home and I stayed out for only 4 months. I went right back to the neighborhood, same community, same guys doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got caught with a gun and went back to prison for another 2 years.
So before you go that far, the statement of when you go to jail and you didn't stay too long, you come back, them people, they still gonna be there, huh? You pretty much believe that, that deal where, man, you can go to jail, go back to the same neighborhood, same people gonna be doing the same things. Yeah. But to back it up too for a little bit, because and I thank God for the situation changing, because I grew up without my dad, right? And so, but I knew who he was. We had contact, and so something that I noticed in the book, and I'm not sure if I'll remember which page I got set out for it, but you made a comment about like what you already said. Just because you have your dad doesn't necessarily mean that they're making the impact that they need to make, right? So that's what I tell my dad. It's not that you wasn't there, because you was there, you know what I'm saying? But and you were available. I was always available. I was always trying to come with you, but you just didn't take the time to make the impact that I feel like would have made a difference. You know what I'm saying? And so with that being said, can you remember, like, him for your mother and your father? Why were they not understanding what you were getting into? Was it more of you and how you were moving and keeping it out of their sights, or what would you say about that? And I'm saying this because I kind of grew up in the ways that you're talking about. Like, I just chose not to dive into it.
So for me, it was like, honestly, just for real, we was poor.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I wanted some money.
Gotcha.
So, but really, like I said, starting off, it was just like I said, it wasn't really like a change in my behavior, because the same people that's considered gang members or the gang was like, these were the same friends that was playing basketball in my backyard. You know what I'm saying? We used to play football in the street.
So you didn't see it that way.
So it wasn't like that. That's why I said the transition was more like a gradual thing.
Right.
Like now it went from we fighting at the pool to now somebody got a gun. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then, you know, like how it just started progressively.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I'm just a 12-year-old regular kid, then now I'm full, gang full blown, and all that. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that. So
and for the culture, what were you repping back then? What was your set, or did you have a set, or?
Well, I'm from Chicago. I'm from the city, so I was inside.
Okay, gotcha.
So and it was just like I said, it was like we was just regular kids. We were just kids.
Right.
That was just grew up in that neighborhood. You know,
Absolutely.
like it wasn't a choice. It wasn't like people always ask me, like, how did I get in the streets, or how did I join it? Like, man, I went outside. Like, this was my neighborhood.
Just go outside.
This is where I grew up at. Like, this is where I went to school. You know what? Where the corner store at, the grocery, everything was in this community that I did. So this was my world. This was my reality.
Gotcha.
So that's what. So my father was always that. He was just like he worked hard. He always worked, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So my father always worked. Like my whole life, I can't remember a time when he wasn't working. When he wasn't working, yeah. So he worked, you know, he was a provider in that way, but I was a little bit more rebellious, and like I didn't want to. I felt like he worked too hard to never have things that he wanted. You know
Gotcha.
Like we could never get stuff that we wanted. So it was like, I don't really want to do what you're doing.
Right.
You know, like
if this would have equals,
like I don't really, that wasn't appealing to me. Yeah, it wasn't appealing to me. So, like I say, I always had an entrepreneurial spirit. Mm-hmm. Like right now, I'm still hustling now to this day, but it's just legal now.
Right.
At the time, I didn't understand that, so I just did what was around me. So as I started selling weed, or try to sell some coke or some crack here, just really trying to make some money, like breaking in the house to. I was just stealing to get some money. I wanted to make some money. I wanted some money.
It was good intentions, I guess you'd say, behind it for yourself, but not really realizing the impact and the devastation that you're putting on the community and the people.
About 13, 14,
right. That's not developed. Yeah, right. Absolutely. And I totally understand that, 100%. And, just asking the question, of course, because we have an audience. But, what I like to say is also, what businesses do you have now? Like fast forward now, what all are you doing right now? And then I like to go back to the book and ask you a few things in there.
So really, like everything on RonaldCJr.com, I got it all there. So I got a clothing line like this. This actually my clothing line.
Okay.
Flat Money. This is the one I started when I first came home from prison.
Gotcha.
I transformed my life. And that was like 5 years ago. So it's still going strong. My art, I got my books, so that product, I'm building a motivational artist entertainment company now, so we can start to really help with artist development and different things to really go on that. So that's something that I'm working on. But really everything on RonaldCJr.com.
Okay.
Yeah, to check it out, all my services, all my products.
Absolutely, man. So y'all go visit right now. It's still scrolling the RonaldCJr.com website, and check out what my man has to offer to the community. So the thing that I liked about the book is you started off interviewing your parents. Yeah. I thought that was really dope. You know what I'm saying? And so what was the point of doing that? Were you for the audience, what did you want us to get from you starting the book off interviewing your parents and asking them, man, what did you think about me when I was born? And you just walk them through that process.
Because I really wanted to. So the real story is when we had working with the publishing company. We had the content, like the 9 stages and everything. I had put all that together. Mm-hmm. And they hit me up and was like, they needed some more. So we need you. We want you to tell your story. And I'm like, I don't want to tell my story in this book. Like, that's not what I want to do.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was like, we need to hear your story. And I'm like, but I don't want to. I tell him like, man, I'm not telling this not the time for me to tell my story right now. That ain't what I wanted to do in the book.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to be from really my perspective. So
I got you.
I was like, he was like, well, we need to know. Then he said, the reader need to know who you are.
Right.
What makes you qualified to speak about these things you're speaking about.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. I'm like, let's ask my mama then. You know what I'm saying? You want to know who I am? That's really how
who
it
else
was.
better to answer?
Ask my mama who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm like, you know what? I'm who better to ask them?
Yeah.
I'm like, we just set up a phone call.
Okay.
And I recorded the call.
Are they still in Chicago?
Yeah, they both in Chicago.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's how
okay. All right. Shout out to moms. They always holding it down. Yeah. Okay.
But that's what. So I just interviewed. So I wanted to use my mother to tell who I was before prison, and I wanted to use my father to speak on who I was after prison.
Yeah.
And then I kind of picked up and went from that. But that's really how I started. I wanted to hear their words, like, so my mother could speak about. Like, she's always told me I was special. She's always believed in me like nobody else did. So it's one thing for me to say that.
Right.
Then it's another thing for her to say, like in a book, like how she just had that unwavering faith with me. And to kind of like go back to the question you asked earlier about like, did they see it? And now my mother really, like, people would call her crazy because she always let me do me. She always let me be who I am.
Yeah.
And it was like, why you let me, like she let me do.
Yeah.
She let me do me. I can't even really say nothing. And it seemed crazy at the time, like, how you gonna let him do this?
Right.
But now that I'm 30 and I'm full grown, like, that's what gave me confidence that I got today to do everything I do.
To do the things you do.
I was always able to really express myself and just be who I am.
See, and that's it's important, man. With the transition of just the world, parents are more like the prisoners in the home nowadays, in the essence of the kids that are rebellious and use the law and, talk back to the parents and just have no respect is what I'm talking about. They're the prisoners in the home because there's so many things that the kids and the rights that they have now. And, I'll call these people on you, shit back in the day, man. Okay, call them. I'm whoop your butt right now. And and you still finna get it. But it changes nowadays because, and I get it, but I don't get it. But parents just feel less empowered, to be able to parent the way they need to. And I'm saying all that to say is because my mom, I grew up, I was raised by my mom. And so I had that same ability, to speak freely and be who I am. And even still to this day, and I'm 43, you know what I'm saying? And so they are such a pivotal point in our lives as young Black men, to the point of it's going to be good or it might be bad, you know what I'm saying? But it's up to us, I think, to realize what we're supposed to get from them, and the fact that they know they're not men, you know what I'm saying? And they know they can't necessarily raise the man and give us the things that we need, and for you had your dad. And so with him being in the home, and how did they differ to you? What did you see different between your mother and your father and the way they went about, I guess, parenting you?
They couldn't get along.
Okay.
It was chaotic.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? It was chaotic. They couldn't get along. They still can't get along.
Yeah. Yeah.
To this day. So it's one of the things that like we're still working on now. That's the whole thing about breaking the generational curses, though. So I don't hold it against them.
Right.
We're working on making things better for the next generation and everything. But that was the thing, that they couldn't get along.
Right.
They couldn't get on the same page. It was always fights and arguing and just disagreements. Bills going unpaid, so just that. So that was like the dynamics of. That's why I say, like, it on the outside looking in, people always think like, oh, you, but it's like when I was in there, like, I never saw my father cherish my mother. I never saw them really love each other.
You know what love was,
right? Like, I just always saw conflict.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I kind of like when I got like into the streets or whatever, it was more like I felt like I had control over my life when I was out there. Like it was lawless. It was like I was just doing me. You know what I'm saying? Like no, like nobody took like control or like it was like I could, if I want to go to my friend's house where like ain't nobody arguing or ain't no tension. You know what I'm
just
saying?
wanted some peace.
That, get away. Yeah,
and you spoke on that in the book too, and that's kind of why I mentioned it. And you did exactly what I want you to do for the listeners is for them to understand that, when you're living amongst chaos, is no way to have peace. But I know you practice the yoga and stuff too now, so that's another way that we can introduce people, especially our Black people, because, oh, that's the crazy people, doing all that. What is that going to do? But that's actually a space. And it's funny. I just speak with a young lady. I'm like, man, you know what? I need to introduce you to somebody because she's going through something right now to where I feel like yoga would be the answer for that. You know what I'm saying? And helping people understand that you got to create your own space of peace, in your whole area, which goes back to the manifesting. But shifting a little bit, what helped you change too is you said the thing that shifted everything for me was a letter that I received from my grandmother. She wrote, "I pray for you every day, no matter the situation. I still stand by. I still believe that you are going to be the grandson that changes our family." And to come from grandma, big mama, and you talk about a little bit, what did that mean to you? And how do you feel like that's what it was that changed you? What was it about that?
So my grandma Rhonda, she, when I went to prison the first time when I was 17, she she sent me like some change, some money every month. You know what I'm saying? She like wrote me, and she always used to send like scripture, and she never used to write like a full letter or nothing.
Right.
She'd even type it up. It'd be typed.
Okay.
It always had like a scripture to be real short, straight to the point, but it had like a scripture. And those scriptures really got me through that first bid. So when I came home and I went back to prison, it's like I was really feeling real down on myself because I was like, damn, I really let everybody down. Like I made all these promises that I was gonna change,
right?
And then I didn't. You know what I'm saying? So I was feeling bad. I was feeling low. Like I couldn't even really look in the mirror at myself. For like the first 6 months.
Yeah.
Because I was just like that ashamed of myself. So my grandma, she wrote me a letter and was like, no matter the circumstances, like just keep your faith. I still believe that you're gonna be the grandson that's gonna change our family. So when I read those words, I'm getting emotional talking about it because it was like
new hope.
That's how I felt. Like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like she, even though I just messed up, you know what I'm saying? I went against everything I told you. You still believe in. So it sparked like for me to have a belief in myself, and that's when I got up and I started fighting them demons.
Yeah. And you talk about that, man. And it's a point in the book. I don't know if I have that page marked. But what stood out right here, and it's simple. Nothing changes if nothing changes. And the most critical part of transition is standing firm on your decision and make the necessary adjustments to affect the desired change. You must recognize that transition has to happen in order for you to survive, succeed, and become the person God created you to be. You must be born again. And so at that point of what you were talking about because again, I don't remember the timeline in the book, but is that around the same time after you had got the word from your grandmother that you felt like, you know what, I need to start all over, you know what I'm saying? And I need to rebuild myself.
Yeah, it was all around like, I had been feeling that way, and then it was just that's where I started taking action. I really I stopped being a victim at that point.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. I shifted my mentality like, man, I ain't no victim.
Yeah. And you put that you were in jail too. Let's talk about who you were in jail. You were out in the streets, gang banging, which is just what was going on in the community. But in jail, you became who you really are anyway. You were the person of peace. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't, just running wild in there and participating in everything. You the one telling people chill out, read thousands of books and stuff. So talk to us about that.
So I was still gang banging in jail.
Yeah, of course. You know, we know
That's
how
the
that
coach.
goes. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that's the
got
coach.
you got to
Yeah,
survive that part. For those who
yeah.
don't know, there's certain things you got to
Right.
do.
But the thing about it was,
Mhm.
that's why
Right.
I always had it. Even when I was in the streets, I wasn't reckless like that then.
Right.
I was never reckless. I
Mhm.
always was real methodical. Both times I went to prison, neither one of them was my bright ideas. I was just riding with my homies.
Right.
Like being honest.
Yep. Fell by association.
Yeah, that wasn't my ideas. It wasn't my plan. It was like, all right, I'm loyal to my homies. Like we riding, let's ride. But
Right.
it wasn't my my
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah. You ain't playing all that.
Yeah, I was always, like real methodical with everything. So I just was real peaceful and just diplomatic in there. Like I like going on visits and getting commissary and coming out, going to the yard and stuff. So if we fighting each other, beating each other up and all that, stabbing each other, we not gonna be able to have. We already ain't got nothing.
Right.
We gonna lose the little stuff that we got because we can't get along in here with each other. So I always took that approach, but I was real, like I said, that's really when I started meditating stuff. I really didn't even know what I was doing. I just was trying to escape. And the only way I knew how to escape was mentally.
Right.
So that's when I started reading books. Like I fell in love with reading. I read over 1,000 books throughout the time in prison. I just was reading everything, and then I just was like mad. Like I understand it's called astro traveling, but like I was just going to different places. Like I go visit Rome or Egypt, or like just from things that I read.
Right.
And I could like visualize it in my mind. So I used to, do that in prison. Just really just getting my mind together. The first time when I went to prison, I thought it was a game. I was still a kid. I was in there playing around. The second time I went back, like after all that, that's when I really grew up. Like, I got to get my mind.
And your dad talks about that a little bit too, going all the way back to the intro. You asked him how he felt or how he saw you, the first time and the second time, and he really gave some knowledge about you and to you. I think how he was able to really recollect what he thought. And the one thing he continues to say is, he was just like, hey, you're gonna do what you're gonna do regardless. You know what I'm saying? That was the one thing I kept seeing. He's just like, man, you're gonna do what you're gonna do, but he still believed in you in the end of it, and all in all, Pops believed in you regardless. But speaking of that time traveling, man, this was a part of the book that stood out to me. You said, close your eyes right now and see the life that you want. Take your time and imagine what it really looks like. Now write it down, put it where you can see it every day with anticipation. That plan will turn into reality. You only get to live this life once. Make it your best life possible. You should anticipate living long and healthy life, but need to make preparations for it. And the reason I bring that up right now is because, as simple as that sounds, it's a lot of people that don't do that. You know what I'm saying? They don't really stop, like you said, close your eyes, and picture it, and you say you took trips to Rome. A lot of people just listening right now probably like, man, that's crazy. You can't do that. But speak on how important that is, man, and what that did for you.
Man, if you're impressed by anything I'm saying, you got to understand. I'm a kid from Englewood, Chicago. Like my mother, high school dropped out. She had me when she was 18. My father, valet park. I'm living in Houston, living my wildest dream is because I dreamed it. I visualized it. So like everything I'm doing is because like I saw it. And anybody could do that. Right. No matter where you at, what you're going through. I was doing these things in prison, like in the midst of chaos with killers and rapists, and you know what I'm saying, like all like. Right. And I was able to find peace, and it was because I went inside of myself. Right. So that's the most important thing. Like you got to go inside of yourself and visualize it and see it. Like your mind is the most, like everything we use in the computer, a phone, all however you watching this or listening to this was created by somebody's mind. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that means that this is your mind is stronger than that. If you could get it to that point. So it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff sounded crazy to me at certain times. But right. You just try it, just visualize it because your perception is reality. So when I saw myself as a drug dealer, as a gang banger, as all these things,
That
that's
became
what I
big
was.
in reality. Yeah.
That was my life. That's who I was.
Yeah.
So when I visualized me being a good man, a father, a husband, a positive pillar of the community, a role model, when I viewed myself in that light, that's who I am. That's who I became. So that's
with a convicting story to be able to those who are not there yet. You know,
I got 2 aggravated felony convictions.
Right. And it ain't stopping you from
Nothing.
manifesting.
Nothing.
Yeah. So let's make it make sense and let's talk about the 9 steps or the 9 stages. Okay. So you have transition, reflection, anticipation, navigation, segmentation, formulation, organization, resignation, and manifestation. So let's just go through those steps, and on each one, just briefly, what you would like to speak about is to help people understand what it is and what they need to do. Just starting with the transition part of it.
Okay, so really ultimately it's breakdown into acronym for transform. Mm-hmm. So these are the 9 transform. It's how you transform your mind, your body, and your soul pretty much inside out. And the transition, it started off like you gotta understand that you need to make a transition from old to new. That's born again, from being whatever it is that you are now, those things, like you have to transition from that.
Yeah.
And become, like new again, like a new vessel for you to be able to, the new things that you're gonna experience in life and learn, you gotta have space for them. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. If you still owe everything that you was, then there ain't no space and ain't no room for no growth.
Yeah.
So that's what the transition is, like to the first acknowledgement that you need to make a transition from.
Do you think people miss that step as far as, do you think it's something that is nudging you, or you think it's just the transition part, something that's just going to happen? People are forced to do it, or do you think they have to recognize it? Okay.
Both. Yeah. Both. It happened to me both ways in my life.
Okay.
Like with prison, like I strong wholeheartedly believe that was part of my destiny.
Right.
Like, so it was like because I couldn't listen to what my voice was telling me. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I was too blind, that I was too caught up, distracted by everything. So I couldn't listen to it. So I put you in place until prison. So I feel like I was forcibly removed from friends, family, and everything that I loved to be there. So that was forcefully. And then another thing be nudging me is like something you need to do. Then you get signs. You get a sign from here, a sign from there. So I just said, like, take heed to it. Right. To whatever it is. Yeah, like really like just whoever your God is, God, like just ask why sometimes. Like whatever it is you're going through, just be like, why am I going through it? That'll get some clarity so you can understand, like it'll paint a picture for you. Right. Like instead of like you thinking it's such a bad thing, that's just how you might be doing it.
How it needs to happen. Because it's crazy. I was just fasting for 2.5 weeks. Just last week is when I finished. And so that was why I was like, man, I can't believe I didn't get to the book, but I was getting caught up in the other studies that I was doing, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And trying to be focused, because there's always space in your life where you have to recreate and, be new and stuff like that. So that's kind of something what I was going through. But so then the reflection part, what would you say about that?
After you come to you begin your transition, you start transitioning from the old to the new, you want to reflect on your past. Like a lot of people don't do that. Mm-hmm. A lot of people just want to keep it moving. But now you got to reflect on your past. You got to understand where you came from. You got to understand why you are the way you are. Start to identify some of those behaviors that you have, those generational curses, the mental barriers. Like, why do I think I can't have this?
Right. Right.
Like that's the thought. Like, because then you got it take you back to when you was 11 and your uncle told you, what I'm saying, whatever it was, like it take you back to that moment, then you believed it. You believed those words, and then you internalized and you made them yourself. So that reflection is like a lot of people say, like, this is just how I always been. It's like, no, that's a lie. When you was born, you didn't know anything.
That takes you back to where you went wrong, I guess.
You learn, exactly. You learn these behaviors. So the reflection part is really just go back and take control of those things that got you there, like, why do I think I'm not beautiful? Why do I think whatever it is that you have in your mind? Mm-hmm. Like you got to go back to it. Like somebody taught you that. You learned that from experience, from somebody word, something. you know what I'm saying, taught
Yeah.
you that.
Yeah.
And that's the reflection part, to go back to see like where your flaws at.
Absolutely.
All those, like, how did you create those? Even if it's bad habits, like, how did you create those? Is that what you saw?
Right.
Did you see that in your home? You know what I'm saying? Like, what
Right.
was it? Like, all
What
those.
was it?
Yeah,
What you hold on to get you to that space?
Right.
Absolutely.
So that's the reflection.
And then anticipation.
So, you know, like, after you reflected on the past, you transitioned, you reflected on the past. Now I want you to anticipate the life that you want to have.
Yeah.
Like, now you can start dreaming, start visualizing, start seeing, like, you know, you've been back, you're dealing with them demons, you're working on something new. You know, now you can start seeing new life now. You know what I'm saying? Anticipate the life that you want to live. Because it's somebody that's anticipating and planning for you. If you ain't got one for yourself.
Right. And that's something I've always was taught. It's like, if you ain't got a plan, the system got one for you, you know, or somebody got one for you, you know, whether it be your friends, they gonna, you know, and that's, so tell me if you believe this, by growing up in that neighborhood with people that were always your friends, were there any people that you came to realize wasn't your friends, or in your area and in your neighborhood, y'all were all really friends and just some people just made the wrong decisions and didn't change like they were supposed to? Or did you realize anybody being the wrong plan maker for you back then?
Yeah, I mean, I'm here by myself now. So
I got you.
Like,
you got to strip yourself away. That's something else you said.
Yeah,
you gotta be willing to leave those people.
You gotta be, you know, sadly though, you know, like, a lot of, like, my close friends, like my boyfriends, they all dead. So
okay.
Like,
so you experienced that.
That's another thing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what the music and all that come from. Like, therapeutic can help me release, because, like, I can't even think about my childhood because it's too painful. Like, everybody that's in the story is dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was 5 of us, and, you know, this particular gang, and, like, I'm the only one that's still alive. So, like,
you got a song about that, man, that you had kicked one time. I don't know if that was the same song you was just doing, but you described something, you know, and I was like, man, that's deep. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I get, go check out my music, because that's when I really open up, like, in my music, and I kind of, like, speak about it. That's, like, my therapy. That's my form of releasing, so I can get rid of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
just
absolutely. Absolutely. So navigation, man, talk about that.
So, you know, like, after you pretty much anticipate, like, if you want, you need to figure out how you're going to get there. So you need navigation around. Plan. Now you need to really create a plan. You need 10 year goals, 5 year goals, 1 year goals. You know, quarterly goals, weekly goals.
Write it down, like you say, where you can see it every day.
Yeah, you know, live it. Like, every day you should be striving. You know what I'm saying? So that's what like, how to move in this world, how to get around, how to get out. Like, this is, you know, how to move like the rules, like America is a corporation. So you need to learn how to move like corporations and not like citizens. You know,
absolutely.
Like, that's navigation. You got to learn the game. So that's really what navigation is, to sum it up.
Okay. And then segmentation.
Segmentation, I want to put that in because to really, like, identify that we are divided. You know what I'm saying? Identify that, like, we really got to acknowledge that. And look at how segmented we are as far as our families, our institutions. Like you got to even think, like, with the church, the black church. If the black church just got on one accord, you know what I'm saying? That's it. Just one accord. That's all. Everybody. Let's get on one accord and say, this is what we own. This is what we demand. This is what we need. It'll happen overnight. But just identifying that, you know what I'm saying? The fact that if I'm a Muslim and you a Christian, we damn near can't even really have a conversation with each other. You know what I'm saying? Both of us black men going through the same thing every day, you know, like, same situations, but we can't really, you know, come together and create a plan or anything because of our personal beliefs or what we believe gonna happen after that. Things like that. We just really look at it like that's what's separating us.
Yeah. And this is the part that stood out to me too. The societal mores in America says that black women are going to be single women. A black man is going to be a product of the jail or prison, or that he is not a provider in the home. Segmentation contributes to the way of thinking and must be replaced with unification. There is strength in numbers. Black people have some of the strongest economic power in this world, yet collectively, we continue to choose to be consumers, predominantly outside of our own communities. We tend to help and support each other in our business endeavors. We tend not to help each other in our business endeavors. That can be described as contained segmentation. We are divided within our own communities. Division affects us all. I'm speaking to you, whether Hebrew, Israelite, Christian, Muslim, Catholic, Buddhist, atheist, or believer of the universe. We must unite economically and socially. We are living in the age of mass incarceration, and we are in the age of black on black crime that takes place at an alarming rate. We're living in a time where men are no longer performing in their roles as husbands and fathers. We are living in the age where women are left to step up and to take on responsibilities of the missing male heads of the household. And it's that way of thinking, man. So that's something that stood out to me, which was in that segmentation part, which is which is deep is what I was about to say, just the way of thinking, man, and people not understanding that this stuff is real, and it goes even deeper in a sense than what you're really speaking on. But the thing I like about it is you're really talking to the people and you're giving them the information that they need to try to hold on to. So I just wanted to read that part. So now you get into, okay, you recognize this, you lay out the plan, and then now you have your formulation. Speak on that part, if you don't mind.
The formulation part is pretty much like, all right, now it's really time to like take action.
Yeah.
Like formulation, like formulate this plan, like take action, start to reach out to people around you, get connected with people, like really, like all these things. You transition, you know what I'm saying? You figured out how to navigate, you know where you want to go, you know how you're gonna get there. Now it's really time to really, you know what I'm saying, put it in play, put it in action, like bring it to reality.
Yeah. And you say, so at the beginning, it's just a little snippet. You said, we can create a system and community where we work with and for each other. We must build and create a coalition using the talents and treasures within our community, making them better, safer places to live. And that goes back to the what do you call it? When you're thinking about it, what you use, the reflection. If we, and even anticipation, if we just reflect on what we have in our community, all the talents that we have, and imagine what that would look like, if we just work together, which everybody talks about it, because you asked me what stood out in the book, you know what I'm saying? But it's the whole book stood out because for me, it's what we always hear and what we need to hear, but you're giving them a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? And you're not saying it in, oh, this is my opinion, not, oh, this person said this. It's just facts, you know what I'm saying? It's just the reality. And so that's what's dope about it for me. You know what I'm saying? It's not your opinion. It's not, oh, this is what I think. It's actually you with writing this book. You're also doing the things that you're telling us to do, which is speaking it. Yeah.
So like with them, like if we really come together, like that's really what saddens me, because I see, like, I'd be like, damn, we could really just come together. Like I said in the song, we got top tier talent, but the league, we don't run it.
Yeah.
Like if we just internalize these things, like work with ourselves, it's called nepotism. Like ain't nothing wrong with saying I'm only working with my people. They do it.
Yeah.
And it's not an issue. And we shouldn't feel no type of way.
Right.
I don't feel no type of way if you put your brother, if you get on, you put your brother on.
Yeah.
Because when I get on, I'm supposed to put my brother on.
Yeah.
And if we had that mentality like everybody else had, then we'd be in better position.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, it's really like we really need to come, like, we could do everything, like we could barter, we could trade our services. It ain't always about money. Like we need to stimulate each other's economy. If you got a product, buy it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody got something bad, like that's how we like stimulate our economy, especially touching on that. And them stimmies on the way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like go stimulate the black economy.
And that's why they call it stimulus.
People
stimulating themselves. And so with that too, you went a little deeper and you talked about how we always hear it starts at home, right?
Yeah.
But it starts with family, because you mentioned that you were the first business owner out of 4 generations, so you didn't have anybody to look up to and to do it and, all of that type of stuff. So,
So
okay.
It was a mentality of go get a job, go to school and get a good job. I never wanted to do neither. So what else am I to do?
Right.
Like I never saw the value in school. It never taught me nothing about myself.
Yeah.
So I never really was like, let me go. You know, like I was getting straight A's. I was not a bad student. You know, like I graduated from high school in the county jail.
Yeah.
You know, but I never valued it.
Right.
I never wanted to go work for nobody else. That concept never sat well with me ever in life.
Yeah, and that part of the game is what we recognize through my organization, also World Youth Foundation, is like the change and the shift that happened in the school districts. What are they teaching? You know what I'm saying? How can you survive outside of the classroom? You know, just from going from level to level. What is it really going to give you at the end? Because there's a lot of college graduates, they don't even work in the field that their degree is in, you know. So it's nothing wrong with having a trade. There's nothing wrong with being an entrepreneur, you know, self-employed, that's what I was trying to say, and just creating your own space. So I think that more is recognized these days, but not really pushed the way it needs to be pushed. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to go to school, because school ain't for everybody. If you don't want to be a school person, you're going to still learn, because you got to recognize if you're owning a business, you have to be learning something. So it's nothing wrong with that. And if that's what you want to do, man, embrace it. You know, is the way I
just
tell my
people. Like, one thing I tell people too, like, it's like this. Like, you can't, just because you don't go to school, is like, it's not like you got an easier path. It's one of those things where I say, like, you still got to put that time equity in. You know, so the same way you would have put 4 years into getting this degree, like, put 4 years into mastering your craft, whatever it is that you want to do, and then graduate with your own degree. You know what I'm saying? Like, and continue to elevate and level up. You know, and then go get certain. Like, I'm not against school completely, but like, have a pure intention. What you're going for. Like, just don't go to find yourself. Like, you know, like, you're gonna go pay $1,000, you're gonna go get in debt to find yourself. You know, like, it's a better way for you to get in debt if you want to go find yourself on things like that. So that's how we know. We really, it's evolution though, because my father, like, his generation, like, work. They told us. And you know, at the time, that was the thing to do. You know, like, we live in a new time. It's a digital era. It's a digital age. So it's just about we got to evolve with our message, what we sending our kids to do, because, like, it's so many more opportunities, especially in, like, tech. And then we got to also create, that's the purpose of the book and everything, to create the culture for the next generation to be able to grow up in. Because we damaged, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've been through what we healing from it, we growing from it. But them kids innocent, they got fresh start. So if we could just change and create the communities and create the environments for them to grow and flourish in, then they'll be able to stand on our shoulders. See, you know,
and I see it as a cycle too, you know, because the shallow thinker would be like, oh, it all sounds good, you know, that's great, you know, people not buying in, but how do we do it? Which is why I say you gave them a system, because, you know, with every generation, there's somebody who made it, somebody who didn't, somebody who stuck. So you make mention of the athletes, you know, us Black people, we have a lot of athletes. If we have a group of people our age and a little bit younger, persistently trying to get at athletes to come back to where they grew up, because I know a few, I'm like, man, you know what? Well, when they put the gym way over here, you know what I'm saying? If we can get them to come back to our neighborhood, do it in our neighborhood, that's going to help the kids that's there. They're going to grow a little bit. You're going to have some that's going to go the right way, the wrong way, you know, and then they get to the point where they need to be. They come back and do it for the next generation. You know, we can get into the mindset of making it a cycle to come back to your neighborhood. And a lot of people leave the neighborhood because that ain't where it's at, you know. So what you gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying? Make it a place to reflect and anticipate what it could be and be better. You know what I'm saying? And I liked how you worded that, man. So it's just important. And I was talking about, you know, and I was pinpointing on how you say you're the first Black first business owner out of the generations, you know, for, I think it was at Christmas, some y'all came together.
Yeah, we was all together on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
My family, my wife's family.
I could just see you looking around like.
I was the only bed. And it was like, I just saw, like, how much money we be spending. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, look how many people paying rent. You know, like, I'm really looking at, like, everybody in here got their own place. Like, everybody paying rent. So that's just
you talked about group economics too at that point.
Yeah. Right. Like, right there. Every month. Like, and everybody in here leasing a car, financing the car. think about that. You know, that's niggas credit ain't good.
Yeah.
And that's 500 probably around, around there,
Yeah.
because we want to look good.
Yeah.
So it's that, and I'm looking at the money that gets spent on all these different things. I just really just looking at all that. It was like, imagine if we could just like sacrifice some things.
Yeah, right.
For a year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that ain't long. You know what I'm saying? I had this conversation with my daughter because, she was making some of the wrong decisions. She wanted to go to the Air Force. Or she did want to go to the Air Force, but that was one of the options that she had. And I grew up like, I ain't joining nobody's service. You know what I'm saying? You got me messed up. But at that time and at that point, I was like you mentioned, what are you going for? You got a reason, right? You got a reason to go. You be set for the rest of your life. Wake up, do the bare minimum. You know what I'm saying? The bare minimum. You ain't got to want to be there. Just do the bare minimum and you set for the next 4 years. If you don't do the bare minimum out here in this world, where you going to be? You're going to be well worse off. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be backwards. So that was a conversation that reminded me of, and that how people just need to recognize, what we need to do. So going into organization, man, keeping up with the book. What would you say? Because we talk about formulation out of organization.
Just really like organizing within your community, within your family, around you. Like a lot of times people think like going to it, like look at the whole problem, like how we gonna solve. Like we can't. All black people not gonna change. We all not gonna wake up, and we all not gonna get on the same accord with each other. That's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like all white people don't get along. All Asians don't get it. You know what I'm saying? We're not on the same page. So nobody. You can't to go into it like, well, it ain't gonna all be. But you can organize right around you.
Right.
Like you can make a change. Like that's really what you start. Like make a change right around you. Like you probably got a cousin or a friend or somebody around you right now that you could go help and support. Like right now, that's going to pop up shop by themselves. You just go and help them. Like it's like organize with the people that you have around you and start to make a change within your immediate circle. That's what really the organization is.
Yeah.
And just allow that to change. If everybody had that mindset of working within, we all be connected. Because we all connected in certain, in different places. So that's really what the organization is. It's really getting organized, coming together, and really building. You know what I'm saying? Building and creating something.
Yeah. And it's and on each one of these topics, for everybody that's listening, there's a lot of information he puts behind this. And so we're just giving a snippet, tip of the iceberg type of descriptions. But resignation, what would you say on that?
You gotta resign from all that BS. You know what I'm saying? All that you
lose yourself. You
gotta resign
the old self.
Like it's time for you to, like really like put that behind you, like and take that real step, like all the chaos, all the mental barriers that you have, like all the negative thoughts and behaviors, all that, like it's time you got to resign from. You got to get away from that.
Yeah. And I want to read this. This is on resignation. An act of retiring or giving up a position. As a community, we have to resign from the nonsense that is happening in our neighborhoods. We have to resign from the negative and bad behavior patterns. We have to resign from mediocrity. We have to resign from bondage and the mental slavery. We can't subscribe to these ways of life anymore. We have to make a mass departure from the madness. And then you basically go into a story about you and the things that you had to do, which, again, bro, I salute you on all of that, man. So that's just the part about it. And then you get to the where everybody wants to be, which is the manifestation, and basically at the end of this, you say these are the elements that can change one community at a time. But talk about manifestation.
Like manifestation, like we ultimately manifest everything that's in our lives, whether you believe it or not, like because of the way that we think and the way that we see ourselves, the way we view the world, the way that our perception is reality, so the way that we see ourselves. So manifest, like you gotta look around, like are you depressed? Are you poor? Are you like you manifesting those thoughts? Like even when you say like when somebody be like, I can't do it. Just something simple as that. Like, we got a vacation coming up, and like I ain't gonna be able to go. I ain't got no money.
Yeah, already.
You spoke that into existence. Like, up with you. You're not even finna entertain the thought of doing it. So that's real life manifest. To put it in simple terms, that's you just manifested that, like you just said it. I'm not gonna be able to do it. I don't have no money.
And that's crazy. Yeah.
So you're not gonna be able to do it, and you're not gonna have no money. You just said
when the time comes, you're gonna be broke as hell.
Right. Like that's gonna be your reality. Like, and it's really just that simple.
Yeah, it really is.
You gotta think of what it is. Where it's like, man, like I can't stand it. Like when you say things like this, like, I can't stand it. Like you can't stand it. Huh?
Yeah.
You know, like you gotta just shift like your words, and like my wife would tell you, I be getting on her nerves because I be like, I'm real on words, on what you say. Like, don't say that.
Hey, don't say that.
She's like, it ain't that deep. Yes, it is.
You know
what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, yes, it is.
Yeah.
You're speaking that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't say like, I don't want to be a burden. Can you? No. Don't say nothing like that. You feel me? Like, because now you let me know that you feel like you're a burden.
Yeah. Yeah. Who said that? Who said that? Yeah.
Right. You shouldn't feel like a burden.
Yeah.
It's some, you know what I'm saying? So I pay attention to that. So that's really what manifestation is. Like, you have to really like speak things into existence, like every day. Like, you have to tell yourself like who you are. You got to really like train your subconscious mind,
right,
to to believe that like you are whatever it is that you want to be, who you want to be, the things that you want, the things that you desire. Like, you got to speak on that.
Yeah,
you know, like
the thing about it that trips me out, man, is everything that we've talked about, and even some of the things that we didn't speak on, they're so simple. You know what I'm saying? It's so simple, and we do, and we can't. And I'm guilty of it. You might still be too. You know, and it's like, if we just understand, I think the most important part is discipline to me. You know, like you tell your wife when she say something, we say a lot of stuff we don't even realize we said it. You know, and so that was one of the things I was trying to focus on. Because, you know, I have a tendency, I cuss, you know what I'm saying? And so I had this thing with my son, you know, I got to give him $1 every time. And shout out to Landon, man. My boy, you know, if I cuss, he like, oh, you owe me $1. You know, like, and sometimes I'm like, boy, hey, cuz, yes, you did. You know, and I try to mess with him. He'll go right back to everything. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I was intentionally working on that. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, our vocabulary and how we talk, that's important too. But not to get too far off on that, man, but the manifestation is important. And so what I want to read on that out of the book is wealth and prosperity and power can be manifested inside of all of us, individually and collectively. This is just an idea, a thought, but everything that we see started as an idea and a thought from the very book that you're holding, which is, again, Transform a Nation, from the very book that you're holding, to the cell phone in your pocket, to the car that you drive, to the home that you're living in, to the food that you consume, were all ideas that just manifested through action. You know, and definition, an event, action, or object that clearly shows or embodies something, especially a theory or abstract idea. You know, an obvious manifestation for us is segmentation. We've been divided and conquered, but with a new thought, a new plan for navigation, you can resign from those old ways of thinking. You can transform a new plan and organize as a community. And I can go on and on and on, man. But like I told you, man, that last chapter, I'm glad you put manifestation last. Not that you did that, but that's just how it goes.
And it's really like, man, like, I just really, if you don't listen to nothing else that I say, like, don't nothing else, like, you don't have to remember me or nothing like that for real. But just listen to this. Like, if you're listening right now, you really can change your world by shifting the way you think. Literally, like, I'm from like one of the worst neighborhoods in one of the worst cities, like in Chicago. Like,
everybody talks about the Chicago,
right?
You spoke on it, but it's really like that. Really was like that.
In these communities, it's like that. Like, my little brother, like, this is my little brother, my baby brother, just got shot last week. God. You know what I'm saying? My other little brother got killed 3 months ago. This is real. Like, this is my reality. So, like, if I could go from that, you know what I'm saying, to being an author, a father, a husband, you know, like, I was just in Cali, and for my turning 30, like, a pillar in my community,
had a
like,
dope time, man.
You know, like, all those things, because I shifted the way I view myself. like I didn't see myself as a victim no more. I don't see myself as a loser.
Yeah.
You know, I don't see myself as being like just all the stereotypes that come with us. Like I ain't that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I don't view myself as that. I view myself as being exactly who you see, exactly who I present myself to be all the time.
Yeah.
And it's how I think of myself and how I view myself, because I could allow what's being held over my head, what they try to hold over my head. I got 2 felonies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I got 2 felonies. I never went to college and I got a book.
Right.
I wrote a book.
Right. And it's published.
Right.
Yeah.
This is out right now. Like, there was a #1 new release on Amazon. So
salute, man.
That's how
you can't just overspeak that, man. So salute to you on that, man. But go ahead.
And that's, you know, like that's the power of manifestation of believing in yourself, believing that you can do it.
Right.
Like you have to, because it got to be unwavering, because people gonna doubt you. They gonna, you know, what you can and you can't do all that, but you got not to be to not listen, to not care, and to be able to, you know, do you and like take your life by the horns, hold yourself accountable for what the role that you play in the position that you're in right now, and become better. And it's really that simple. Like I'm just getting emotional just talking about it, because it's like
it's all good, bro.
We really in a position like where we going into a new year, and like I'm tired of seeing us lose as a whole.
That's
really
where I wanted to get, man. Like, not to cut you off, but just to help you speak more on it. And I want to talk about your wife and your daughter, if you don't mind. Lastly, but tying this into I'm fed up, they don't understand, you know, and you've been doing it, but it sounds like you was going to speak on that. But you know, what are some things in addition to what you're about to say that you feel like you just tired of seeing, man? You think we need to change?
Tired of seeing the disrespect to our women. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm tired of seeing it. I'm like, we can't keep on disrespecting our women. That's where our nation is. That's why our future is. So like we really need to love and cherish. And I'm tired of seeing women accept it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say that. Like I'm fed up with seeing y'all gotta stop accepting it. Like on both ends, like we gotta stop dishing it out, and y'all gotta stop accepting it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for real. Like we both sides gotta do it. You know, like I'm really like fed up with just like us just being consumers. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't take them stimmies and just go spend it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be a consumer. Like, invest in something. Like, you might even, if you're not a business owner, you don't want to be a business owner, you like your job, whatever. Like, go invest in a business.
Somebody
that's close to you. Go tell them,
be a
like,
silent partner.
Yeah, go tell them like, all right, look, man, I'm finna give you $200 for your inventory. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me back on the back end. You know what I'm saying? Put them on. Like you give me $200 right now, I can turn it to a stack easy.
Yeah.
So give me $200, I'll give you your $200 back. You know,
real quick.
And then you can take, but that's just like be a blessing like that. Like instead of just going to give it to a restaurant or to some shoes or to some whatever it is, you know, like I don't know nobody that's what you want to do with it, but like if you got somebody close to you, like do that. I'm fed up with seeing that. Like I'm fed up with seeing my people. And it's just me being real. I'm just being honest on your show.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm fed up with seeing my people not support me. You know,
right.
Like that know me.
Yeah.
Like ain't no reason why you not supporting me and I'm doing everything right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like what I ain't doing that wrong. What crossing nobody and why my community is not behind me.
And I kind of relate to that a little bit, you know, because people talk about, you know, and you're in the music industry probably way more than I've been, but they talk about how you got to leave and then come back, you know, to get popping, and you got to start away. Why? You know what I'm saying? Because you're not getting the support that we need, and that's the thing for me. Like you said, just in whatever genre that you're in, whatever position that you're in, whatever you're doing, our people need to support that, man. You know, because man. Let Beyonce get on here and advertise some perfume for a dog when they boo-boo, you know, everybody gonna buy it. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
There's no reason why I wrote a book called Generational Curses of Mental
Yeah. We need
the code people
hide it from black people in the book, though. You know, that's another thing that's another thing I'm tired and fed up with, man.
Yeah, like we want solutions. Symbolisms, man. Y'all like giving us a little, you know, like putting Black Lives Matter on the court. Give us some ownership.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let us get a team.
Yeah.
Let us start out like that's what like I don't want no more handouts. You feel
Yeah.
me? Like, give me my own. You know,
Mhm.
like, give me liberty, man. Like,
Yeah.
give me freedom. That's what I want. And we got to demand that. We got to have that
Right.
mentality. We can't keep on accepting the crumbs and the hand. You know, like being the bottom feeders.
Yeah.
Like, we not no weak, inferior people. Like,
Yeah.
we gave the world everything the world got.
Yeah.
You
And
know
they got to
what I'm saying?
realize, we got to realize the power we have. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? And that's why they hold us back, because we know it, but we're afraid to express that, you know,
Say it
and
again.
that's where they keep us, man. You
We
know,
need, but we need more fearless warriors, man. We
absolutely.
need people to stand on the truth. Like, that's the men. That's what the men. We gotta, like, we gotta stand up. The men, we gotta stand up, bro. Like, we can't keep on sitting back. Like,
Yeah. And if you pay attention, and this is where I started my organization, and this is gonna take us somewhere I ain't really trying to get into it, because when I talk to the ladies, I try to make sure that they understand. But you know, when I started my organization, which is Dad Chronicles, it's for our black men, it's for our men, it's for our young men. Guess where my support came from? The women. You know what I'm saying? Initially, you know, I got brothers that are helping me and backing me, but hell, you would think that I got the whole city trying to, you know, men wise, you know, support what I'm doing. But you get those ladies, and you know, everything's a blessing. You know, it transformed. I opened it up to, you know, boys and girls, because we need that as well. But it's like, bro, we're in a position where our women are taking over. You know, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, right? Because they got the mindset. But if we allow ourselves to step up, you know what I'm saying? Imagine how much more powerful that would be. Because
beat them where they holding it down.
They holding it down, man, for real.
We gotta beat them where they at. Like, they getting their degrees, they opening up their business. Like 90% of my support comes from women. Like, my circle, all young women. Like, I'm going to war with the women, so I'm fully with it.
Right.
But the men, like, we gotta, like, because ultimately, like, and just with me, it's like, I'm the boys. That's what's most important. Like, the men, you grown, you're gonna do what you want to do. But these boys and these women raising these kids alone.
Yeah.
So the good men, we need to step up, and we need to create programs and opportunities for the women to be able to bring these young men too, so they can learn the skills that they need.
Yeah, and not just a babysitting situation. They
so
getting something.
That's what we got to be accountable.
Right.
We need to have a space for them to be able to bring. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should be places where you can bring your kids to meet some good men, some strong men, to understand how to do things that men do. So,
and with that, man, the idea I get from that, it don't take a whole lot of men to do that, right? We got a whole lot of women with that are single mothers, you know, and it ain't a whole lot of men trying to do that, but there are a few handfuls and you know, different pockets that are doing it. So we can have a gang of women bringing the kids to that, and it only takes a few of us to command the authority that we need to handle those kids. So that's how I see that, man. And we'll talk, man, because
it's out.
It's out there, you know.
Now we gotta do that. That's something
you know, and it's just dope to you know, be in your presence and understanding that you got some of the same ideas and missions. And that, I shout out to Lewis again, because this is just speaking to something that we've been talking about. He owns a boxing gym over in A-Leaf. And we'll talk about that, man, because I just met him, and it's just like I'm just meeting you. And there's some things that have already happened, the things that have manifested, you know, that we've said. And I'm gonna tease him because for the holidays, one of his ideas was feeding 12 families, you know what I'm saying, and also doing a toy drive. And so, you know, he's quiet, and Lewis, you know, I ain't no knocking, that's my man now, you know, but I always push him, you know, when we do everything. I'm like, man, get over there and speak. He's like, man, you know, I don't like to do all that. But I'm like, bro, you good, bro. You know what I'm saying? He has a pure heart, man, you know. And so, long story short, we did it. You know, when he said it, he was like, man, it's last minute. I'm like, bro, we just need to go to work. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get it done. Go to work. Let's get it. Man, we fed over 70 people. It was 12 families plus about 2 or 3 more. You know what I'm saying? It ain't a lot, but we did that off the sweat of our backs. We put it out there in the community and got a little bit of help. You know what I'm saying? But we did that, and we did the toy drive. We combined it. It was supposed to be 2 different things, you know. But that's just my small example that just recently happened of manifestation. You know what I'm saying? And just knowing that something can happen, man. So, man, salute to you on this book, brother. And for the sake of time, I want to talk about, because you speak on what it means to you, and that touches me, man, because I love my kids, bro. You know what I'm saying? And growing up without my dad, you said the same thing that I said, man. I'm gonna be there. I don't care what's going on. I'm gonna be there. And That's just what was important to me. And I don't know if that was you said it, but your dad went back and talked about something. So, but either way, the point is, okay, yeah.
He was like, he gonna be there.
Right. Okay. That's right, because it was his dad that wasn't there, because your dad been around. That's right. His dad wasn't there. So just speaking on that, man, what does it mean to now you found that one? This is part of your dad's testimony in the beginning, how he saw when you found that one, you was making different decisions. But just talk to your wife and your daughter right now, man. I know you probably do that all the time, and just okay. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. I missed that. Salute on that, man. You know, you done? You having some more? Already. but to your family, I guess I'll say, man, you know, you got your young king now, your baby queen, and your wife. So what does that really mean to you, man?
I mean, everything. Like really, like my wife. But I always say like my life changed when I committed to her, because like that's really when I started to like really like focus on me, like go all the way in on me, because I ain't had no more distractions no more. I wasn't chasing no women no more. So I was really able to like build on me, and she really gave me the space to be me. That's the thing, like that's the one thing that reminded me of my mother with her. Like she didn't question my ideas. Like it was like, I mean, I might not be able to see it, but I believe in you. So if you say you can see it, then
okay,
then
it is what it is.
It's gonna get done. You know, like, and like that's what I needed. You know, when I come with the like the book, I wrote the book in a month.
Okay.
Like from conception, from idea to.
And I normally ask that. I didn't ask that. I'm glad you touched on that. So it was just a month process.
From idea to #1 on Amazon, 30 days.
Wow.
Literally.
Wow.
So
I'm not even gonna call her name, but I know you probably watching. Look, get that book wrote. That's all I'm gonna say. It only took you a month.
Yeah, to get it done. So when I first came to my wife, she was like, you know, imagine how that sounds like. And then we really didn't have the money to pay for the cover, the ship, all that stuff. We really ain't have it. Like I manifested, like I just was like, it's gonna get done.
It's meant to be.
30 days.
Done deal.
That's what I did, and that's what happened. So she sat back and she believed that she let me put the money up that we didn't really have for real. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a gamble. I'm like, I'm gonna get it back.
Right.
I know I'm gonna get it back.
Yeah.
And I did. We did.
Yeah.
So my wife really just had that unwavering faith in me, and that's my better half. That's like I really cherish, you know, like the bond that we have. And she gave me my 2 beautiful babies, my daughter and my son. So they like a reflection of me. My daughter really showed me how to be more compassionate as a my daughter and my wife, they really showed me how to be compassionate as a man, you know what I'm saying, how to be like really get in tune with my feminine side, my softer side, my emotions, you know, so I ain't just super.
Let the gangster and the killer go.
Like all that, like more like like, you know, so like now I'm more like and that helps me because I'm really in tune with my emotions. I cry, you know, like all those things. I know how to talk about how I feel and like express how I feel.
Yeah.
And these things that I learned.
And there's nothing wrong with that, man. That's the crazy part about it. You know, we live so balled up as men.
Yeah.
Just brothers, if they buy into just that part, man, you be living a better life just on that alone. You know what I'm saying?
More people like this like I credit that to them because I couldn't just say whatever came to my mind to them. Like they sensitive, they delicate. You know what I'm saying? Like I just can't. Just, you know, women got, you know this.
I'm still dealing with it. I understand.
Like so I'm still learning. I'm still
understand.
Yeah.
Like, side note, y'all gotta work with us. You know what I'm saying?
Like we try. It's not, you know, I don't know that I'm coming off like that until you tell me. And it's like, damn,
then it'd be too late sometime. They are trying to hear
it. Already hurt. You already hurt. You like, man, I really did just say it like that. So you know, like you gotta make up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You know what?
You gotta equip them, bro. You gotta equip them and trust that. You know.
Yeah. So I'm giving them the you know, like my daughter, 3 years old. She like smartest, but she getting that one-on-one care all the time. She really like And my wife and my kids, everything. Then I got my little sisters too. I can't leave out my little sisters.
Okay.
I got them. I got them in my care.
Yeah.
You know, so.
How old are they, if you don't mind me asking?
One 22. She just moved out. She on her own.
Okay. Salute. All right.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Yeah, I got my sisters. I got them out the hood. Got them, you know, living a better life. One of my sisters want to go back though. She want to go back to Chicago.
Yeah.
So, you know,
well, hopefully she equipped to make that change. You know what I'm saying?
She is. She ready. She ready.
And you just never know. I know the thoughts of the bad that can happen, you know, but manifest and just speak the positive into that, man, because from what I've read, and man, y'all have to go read the book and totally understand. But, you know, you have to, what I say, you have to practice what you're preaching, you know what I'm saying? And just trust that, number one, her God gonna take care of her and that she gonna do what she needs to do, brother. But I mean, man, so salute to it, man. My brother's only 30 years old. That's the other thing that's dope about it, man. You still young, but you live the old man's life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But let the people know, hold that book, man, and let them know what you want them to get besides what you just talked about, man. It's your time to do your commercial, I guess I would say.
I mean, transformation, breaking generational curses and mental barriers. So I want you to get this book because it's transformational for yourself. It's transformational. It's an individual thing. Like, it's not a book or a sermon about how to change the world or the transformation of a nation is really about transforming yourself. Like, you have a nation inside of you. You have a nation that you connected with. We ain't got to change whole America, but change the family that's around you. Change your household. If you don't have a family, create one. If you come from a family that ain't all that, you know, like, either make amends to it, get the ones that you can get, and then keep it moving, and then continue to build with the next generation. So I really just want everybody to just, you know, like, get in tune with me, get connected with me, and, you know, like, so we can really grow and so we can build that nation. I'm active. I'm out here. You know, that's how I'm even on this show, because I'm out here. That's what I be doing. I'm in the community. Like, you can catch me at the local, you know, open mic, you know, like, absolutely. I'm here. Yeah, like, I really be out here. So, like, really go get the book, go support the music. I got some real transformation music. Like, you know, just really just check me out again too. Like, I'm building a community. We're a community. Like, we need to work with each other. I'm on a collab. But really definitely go get this book, check this book out. Like, this book is transformational. If anything that I'm saying today, like on this platform that you heard, that resonated with you, that made any type of sense, then this was just like a hour and, you know, like a quick interview. Hour and a half, yeah, absolutely. Like, so you need to really get the book to really get into the details, get into the content, get into the meat of it. Yeah. Explore some of the different topics and the ideas that I, you know, address and questions. I'm working on a workbook right now. It'll be out before this month over with, to really go into it, to accompany it. So it's more action to it. You know what I'm saying? Are you thinking of another book after that? Yeah, I mean, the next book is going to be Nation Build, and I'm working on that. That'll be out sometime. I'm going to just throw something at you. I do this every now and then, you know, and I know it's you, but just in conversation, something that's laid on me is building blocks, you know, stepping stones or something like that, you know, just with all of the experience that you have, the things that you've been through, the people that didn't change, the people that you've lost, man, how they can recognize that everything can be a building block or a footstep, you know. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. Whatever you can do with that. Maybe it's a song, bro. You know what I'm saying? I like that. But you know, I'm just throwing that out there, man. You know, and you know, but no, man. And I mean, that's dope, man. You know, and I appreciate you giving us the opportunity to get into your world and understanding. And like he says, man, Transformation Nation on Amazon bestseller. Make sure y'all go and get that. And then, you know, I'm gonna ask again, I don't know, is there anything you want to leave artistically? You got anything else left that you want to share, that you want to spit lyrically? Because we can do that. Okay, my man. So before I do that, man, you know, salute to everybody who's tuned in. I will go back and go over all the comments, man. But y'all stay connected to our young black brother, man, doing some amazing things. Ronald C. Lee Jr. It's been a dope interview. Make sure you get the Transform a Nation book off of Amazon, and you know, follow him.
at Ronald C. Lee Jr. on all social media platforms, and then also go and visit the website that you see here scrolling down at the bottom. And then also, man, it's New Year's Eve, so we got to go back to that. I was going to talk about that a little bit, but like I said in the beginning, man, everybody stay safe, stay aware, stay mindful, and manifest. That's the new thing for me. Manifest going into the new year, manifest all year. We talked about 2020 vision at the beginning of 2020. The vision should be clear right now, and if it's not, it's definitely time to start manifesting, man. We had when you think about it, the other thing I want to say is, before I read the book, man, I thought you were getting into how to change the world and all of this,
yeah.
and you said it. You are the nation. This book is about self-reflection and about changing yourself. And how powerful is that to understand if you can think for a second and recognize that you have a whole nation inside of you. So it's transforming, self-transformation, man. So go ahead and get into it, Ron. We're gonna peace out on that note, and we're gonna end the show with my man blessing us with some more lyrics. Is Ronald C. Lee Jr.
It's something like that. No competition at all. It's coming out soon. I'm working on trying to figure out when I'm releasing the music, but it's coming. I told my family it's time to eat. We about to have a feast. I'm like a dog off the leash. I'm in the streets. With shorty died in the streets. Where's mama lease? His daddy got a century. They threw away the key. This is the type of thing you see on a daily basis. Drug addicts, lamb preachers, niggas catching cases. She got daddy issues. She just want relations. Her mama man a rapist. The pain, she can't escape it. So she just pop a perk and hit the club and make it bounce. Her baby daddy paid. He trying to flip her ounce while she out getting money. This nigga in the house. He went and called a case. Then she went bond him out. This ain't no shade. I'm just shedding light on the plight. When you see this every day, it's a normal life. We all affected if you're doing wrong or living right. Tomorrow's never promised. Tonight can be that night. I get the game, then I teach it to my son and daughter. Tell them about the hard time when I ain't have a quarter. How I went from being local to crossing the borders. Split the profits 4 ways. I play with a quarter. Standing firm on my business. I'm never gonna lack. You a lame, she a queen. You never gonna crack. Out of town trying to shop, you gotta get taxed. I'm turned up to the max. I swear I can't relax. I'm locked and loaded, really focused every day. I check my dreams. When you walking in your purpose, that little money ain't a thing. Get the recipe to make the bread and pass it to my team. Everybody with me eating by the boom, by the bing. What's popping? Let's get it cracking. I get to work, package it up, and make it vanish. The way I turn nothing to something they think is magic. Land doing jumps and flips, call it gymnastics. Oh man, I don't think my people understand. Never dealt with the trauma, so they drown their pain with Zans. Hard living inside, perks and lustful sex. Oh man, niggas need to go and cop some land. I'm just saying. I have always been that dude. I was on the block trapping. You was watching Blues Clues. You was playing GTA. I was packing real tools. You was doing while you was getting jumped for your school shoes. Stupid. It's the life of the savage. In the midst of the action in the field, wreaking havoc. I don't do the cap. I don't know Joe Jackson. I'm all about that action. Don't let me catch you in traffic.
Hey, man, Ronald C. Lee Jr. Y'all check the man out, www.ronaldclee Jr. This has been the Reach Podcast Show with LeVar Ellis, where every show reaches beyond the ears of the listeners. Happy New Year's Eve. Happy New Year. Let's hashtag manifest. So